Click here to subscribe our channel and do not forget to press the bell icon to get regular updates of our videos. Hello friends, good evening to all of you. So I am back with another video on sociology optional subject for UPSC CSE mains examination. In this video we are going to cover political parties, pressure groups, social and political aid under politics and society of paper 2. So friend, please do these triage. It will really motivate me to do this awesome course. Share as much as possible so that more and more people will get benefited. Comment and like the video and ask any doubt if you have. And now you can also follow us on MB page, that is facebook.com/Unorthodox Academy. So friend, as you know that we are covering slot 5, that is politics, Western Indian. In paper 1 we have already finished topic politics and society. In this video we are going to cover political parties, pressure groups, social and political right under politics and society of paper 2. So first we start with political parties. So political parties are a group of individuals organized around some principle and ideology, and they try to grab power through legitimate political means. So on the basis of ideology, basically there are three types of parties. First being the rightist, and these parties believe in capitalism and also support hardcore nationalism. And BJP is an example of it, and it supports cultural nationalism. The second type of political parties on the basis of ideology is leftist, and this is in complete opposition of rightist ideology. They support socialism and communism and have commitments toward peasant labor, etc., etc. And CPI, CPM, forward bloc, etc. are the example of this type of parties. And the third type of parties on the basis of ideologies are centrist, and they believe in mixed economy or coexistence of rightist and leftist ideology. They believe that the interests of rich and poor are not contradictory. It can be harmonized in proper manner, for example, Congress Party. And then on the basis of their political dominance and presence, political parties are divided into two categories, the first being the national parties and second being the regional parties, and these are subject to change based on some conditions. So presently there are 7 national parties, the first being the Congress, second being BJP, third being Communist Party of India, then Bharatiya Samajwadi Party, then All India Trinamool Congress, National Congress Party, and CPIM, that is Communist Party of India, Marxist, and there are many regional parties. So the political parties in India reflects the value and diversity of Indian culture. According to Paul Brass, there are contradictory characteristics and trend in democratic politics in which bureaucracy, political system and parties are coexisting in Indian and Western coexistence. So modernization and traditions are coexisting in India, which reflects in political parties. So Indian National Congress is the oldest party of India, formed in 1885 and almost had political monopoly till 1980s except a transition of Janata Party government in 1977. So Rajni Kothari in his book Caste and Politics wrote that the prominence of INC was evident in British India, and after 1945 as independence started looking to be realized and the political equation started changing. Communist, socialist, Muslim separatist, Hindu rightists started distancing from Congress and become active separately. After death of Jawaharlal Nehru in 1962, political destabilization started emerging. So before 1967, Congress used to secure 75% of the seats, but in 1967 it secured merely 54%. In 1967, first time ever non-Congress government was formed in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Odisha, Bengal, Bihar, MP, UP, Haryana and Punjab. And in 1971, Congress won the elections with heavy majority, which led the era of political centralization. In 1975, emergency was declared, which was opposed by the masses of India, and in general election of 1977, first time ever a non-Congress party, Janata Party coalition formed the government in centre, but due to their internal conflicts in 1979, Janata Party government lost the majority, and in midterms, Congress returned to power in 1980. So in 1984, Indira Gandhi was assassinated, and which was followed by anti-Sikh riots. Due to the emotional wave, Congress Party returned to power in best ever majority given to Congress Party by the country. So, but Rajiv Gandhi government became unpopular because of Bofors scandal, and in 1989 election, Congress Party merely got 197 seats. So VP Singh coalition government called Janata Dal formed the government at the centre. Janata Dal merely remained for 1 year, and Mr. Chandrasekhar became Prime Minister with outside support of Congress. He remained in power for 4 months, and this non-Congress government remained in power for only 1.5 years, and midterm polls followed in which Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated. Under leadership of P.V. Narasimha Rao, Congress won 232 seats and formed government with help of regional parties. In 1990, Congress party started losing its prominence, and regional parties like TDP, AGP, INDL, JD emerged as a strong political force. So in 1996, NDA under the leadership of Atal Bihari Vajpayee formed the government, which remained for 13 days. In 1998, BJP projected itself on the ideology of Hinduism and also strengthens its base in NDA, and first time ever a non-Congress coalition completed its 5 year terms at the center. So the present era is a coalition era. Firstly, UPA under the ideology of center plus left, for under the leadership of Congress is in center, and then NDA, which is an ideology of center and right, is in center under the leadership of BJP. So now we see the second topic, that is the pressure group. So pressure group is any group that attempts to influence legislative or governing institution on behalf of its own special interest or interest of a larger public that it represents. So they influence government decisions in their favor without participating in politics as such. It acts as a liaison between government and its member. And there are protective pressure groups, that is those protecting the interest of the group like FICCI. On the other hand, promotional pressure groups tries to promote their interest like caste association, trade unions and etc. Pressure groups acts behind the scene as they do not try to capture power. They support their candidate. Parties in election to ensure winning candidate backed by them represent their interest in the related bodies. They give collective expression to the group's demand and also ensure that the demand should be met. So they change their political alliance quickly as to suit their conditions. So pressure groups' demands can be functional or dysfunctional for society. Presence of anomic pressure groups like terrorist organizations have negative impact. Thus, it can be said that the presence of pressure group shows pluralism in political system, which can be functional as well as dysfunctional. Now we see role of pressure group in democracy. So according to Anthony Giddens, pressure groups are the carrier of democracy. With the increase in industrialization, division of labor also increases, and thus emerged various sections with specialized interests. But modern democracy demands more harmonization of interests, due to which minority or sectional interests tend to get ignored, and pressure groups represent this interest. So its presence shows existence of pluralism, making power dispersed and decentralized into the political system. Pressure groups also aggregate and articulate the interests, thus making government aware of the public opinion and interest and working for them. The participation of all sections in governance is indirectly achieved. Pressure groups can work in anonymity out of glare of the public. They may use imitative, educative, non-formal methods to protect and promote their interest. There are many pressure groups in India, but they are not developed to the same extent as in the US or the Western countries like Britain, France, Germany, and so on. And the pressure groups in India can be broadly classified into the following categories. I am showing you the different categories of the pressure groups. So just take out the screenshot of these slides and you can read by yourself. The first slide is that the three classification. The first is business group, then trade unions and professional association. Just take a screenshot of these slides and you can read by yourself. Now moving to the next slide, that is agrarian groups, student organization and the caste group. Then there is tribal organization, linguistic groups, ideology based groups, and the last one is the religious organization and anomic group. Now we are moving to the next topic, that is the social and political elite. So elites are a group of minorities who stand on the top of any field and capable of influencing the respective field on their will and action. Emergence of elite in India is a very old phenomena. Max Müller, a German Indologist, said that Brahmins are the most powerful I have ever seen in the world, who controls all aspects of life in Indian society. Since India is a caste-based, and Brahmins were the traditional elites in Indian society. During medieval period, the foreigners, Muslims like Sayyid, Sheikh, Mughals and Pathan became new urban elites who control the socio-political and economic aspect of urban India. But the dimension of elites broadened during the British rule. In this period, various administrations, economy, social reforms were brought, which led to the emergence of socio-economic elites in modern India. For example, the land reforms and the permanent settlement system like Zamindari and Mahalwari system gave birth to a new class of Zamindar, Talukdars in rural India, which were easily the elites who represented the colonial goals. Then Macaulay education system of 1831 gave birth to new professionals like advocates, judges, government officials, clerks, and other modern occupational who were the new elites of the India, who later gave the leadership to socio-religious revivalist movement and national movement. Then industrialization led to the emergence of new crop of industrialists, investors and businessmen who were also new elites, and the last one were the all other royals and kings who were able to retain their power in British India, especially in Rajasthan. So basically due to these mentioned reasons, a new class of elite independent from caste system emerged in British India, and these new elites were secular in their outlook and mostly economy and power oriented. So after independence, various factors like democracy, modernization, modern education, technical education, emergence of new occupation, expansion of service sector, etc. further added to the dimension of socio-economic elites, and especially in rural society, a new dominant case emerged who benefited from agrarian reforms and agriculture. Jat, Ahirs, Patels, Kushwahas, Ukkaligas, Kamars, Reddis, Lingayats were main allied caste or neo-elites that emerged due to democracy and agrarian reforms, that is, Green Revolution. Reservation and democracy helped SC/STs to emerge as new socio-economic elite, and as Sachidanand called that, a new middle class has emerged among them who can be called as Harijan elites or the scheduled caste elites. So after 1990s, dimension of socio-economic elites further broadened because of LPG or the globalization. IT industry helped new IT professionals in Indian society to become influential, and over a period, IT Sazar like Azim Premji, Narayan Murthy, Sabir Bhatia, etc. emerged in society. So hence it can be concluded that emergence and orientation of socio-economic elites in Indian society has been wide dimensional phenomena. Before British rule, Brahmins were the socio-political elites, but as modernization, westernization and other development measures reached to grassroots, a new crop of elites emerged, especially in 1917 and 1980s. They were rural, traditional and belonged to the intermediary and lower caste. But as globalization followed again, the base of elite shifted from rural and traditional elite to modern elite. As MSA Rao said, the elites after 1990 are largely under the influence of globalization and Western society and want to take India in 21st century. So thank you guys for listening and watching this video. Thank you.